and Brad, the two most famous physical therapists on the internet.
Hi, I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical
And
therapist.
together we are the most fabulous physical therapists on the internet.
Well, in our opinion, of course, Bob.
I'll throw something new in there, Brad. Okay, today we're going to talk about sciatic pain, and it's really important to know where it's coming from, isn't it, Brad?
Right, and what the cause is, but I think one thing about sciatic pain or sciatica is people really don't know what that term means.
Right.
So let's define that first. It's just a general term saying, why don't you stand up, Bob, once? Turn around, show them everything you got there. Is one leg, it's almost always one leg, has pain, numbness, tingling, burning. Down one leg is sciatica. What
Right.
it's from could be a number of things.
A lot of things, and that's what we're going to cover today, some
Right.
of the things that it could possibly be.
Right, and the two biggest things is the
Herniated disc.
herniated disc, which is a big one, and the other one, the piriformis.
syndrome. Yeah.
Right. Now, I got some numbers on this that make it interesting. On the piriformis syndrome, 300 or
200,000 cases
right.
here.
But let's go back. Sciatica is estimated 3 million cases of that, and this is in the United States.
That's a lot.
Right, per year. But only 200,000 of them are piriformis syndrome. So that tells you a pretty small percentage is from that piriformis.
More likely than not, if you're a betting man,
Right.
it's going to probably be more from a herniated disc. But we're going to show you some things today to try to distinguish between them, because if you try to treat piriformis or a herniated disc like you would piriformis syndrome, you're not going to have any success.
Right,
So,
exactly. And I think this model we have pretty much explains it very clearly in a couple simple tests. All right.
So this is for the piriformis.
Right.
I'm going to just get this out of the way.
So the red tape here represents
The piriformis
the
muscle.
piriformis muscle. It's a wide, flat muscle, goes from the greater trochanter to the sacrum here. The blue stretch band here represents the sciatic nerve, and it goes right through this area. When this muscle tightens up for whatever reason, it pushes down on that sciatic nerve, and anything that interferes with the nerve at this point will send that pain symptom, pain, numbness, tingling down the leg.
And as a point of interest, Brad, by the way, sometimes it actually goes through the muscle.
Right.
And sometimes above the muscle.
Sure.
It's just depending on anatomically where
Unfortunately,
it lies.
we're not all anatomically perfect.
That's right. So by looking at this, you can kind of tell where your symptoms are going to be, though, if you have piriformis syndrome.
Right.
You're going to have can I jump into this, Brad?
Jump
All right.
in, Bob.
You're going to have pain in the butt and going down the leg, but you're not going to probably have pain in the back at all.
Right.
So that's a big sign.
You know, maybe it could refer up that way, but you know, this is where you got to work with a little bit. But we'll show you some tests that can help eliminate that difference.
Right, because I also should say too, you couldn't have a herniated disc that hurts down here and doesn't hurt up here.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky, doesn't it?
It does. So that's why you got therapists around, right, Brad?
Exactly.
You want me to lay down?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. You take the nap.
All right.
I'm going to need you on your stomach.
Oh.
Prone position, Bob. Prone.
I'm prone to not listen to you. Okay, what are we doing now?
Lay flat, Bob. We need you flat. Look at the camera.
Okay.
We've had some viewers say we're supposed to look at the camera.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to, right here is the sacrum, that bony prominence, and here's that hip. You don't have to do this, but I like to find out where the 2 points are. And then right about in here, if you push around in there, if they got a tight piriformis, it sends them through the roof. They're not happy with that at all.
And what you want to do is definitely compare sides.
Right,
Because
yep.
generally you're going to find the one side is much different than the other. You can poke around yourself even too and
Right,
and
right.
feel. And the other thing is, quite often I've found, Brad, sometimes the muscle was actually tore too.
Sure, yep,
And
it could be.
And it's kind of scarred up over the piriformis,
Yep,
the sciatic nerve. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, so you're going to look in here, and you get in there. I usually go like this with my knuckles, and I'll get in there, start out slowly, and if it's hot, in other words, tender, it doesn't take much. But I'll get in there and push around just to make sure, and then I'll go on the other side and work that. And there's always a clear difference from one side to the other, very clear if you got piriformis tightness and pain.
I thought you were going to buy me dinner before you do this, Brad.
No, forget it, Bob.
Okay.
All right, if you keep talking smart, I'll take care of you.
All right.
All right, the next thing is if we bend the knee here at 90 degrees and we rotate the femur internally. In other words, all you do is take the knee and go this way, okay? That tightens up the piriformis, and then you compare sides.
Oh,
Now,
sorry.
we've got a bad angle here, but let's say this foot only goes out to about 20 degrees, maybe a little pain up in the buttock with that, and this one drops way down. Let's get this foot out of the way, Bob. Drops down, no pain, everything is very relaxed. That's another possible sign, indication that you got piriformis. So if you got tenderness here, you do this test and it's tight with some pain there, pretty good indication it's piriformis.
Yeah, if you even do this, you might even get more pain when you go this way because you're putting a stretch on it.
Yep.
So.
Didn't I say that, Lonnie?
Oh, maybe you did already. Did you?
Okay, the last one, do a press up, Bob. Okay. And back down. If you can do these, go ahead again, and it doesn't affect anything, that's an indicator that, yeah, it is piriformis. But if you do this, and all of a sudden you get pain shooting down your leg, gets much worse, and all we're doing is working with the low back, that's an indication it's not piriformis, and probably,
if it gets worse or gets better.
Oh, yeah, it could be go either direction, yeah.
Yeah, if it changes it, really. That's when you have to start thinking that, no, maybe it's herniated disc.
Yeah.
So these are tests you can do yourself. You can lay down like this and go, Brad, like this and see how they're doing.
Just don't kick anyone.
You can do these.
Yep.
So, and I mean, you can do all these basically.
Yep.
You can palpate your own butt. So.
Oh, palpate, yeah.
Oh, palpate means touch.
Yeah.
So.
Forget it, Bob. This is a family show
All right.
here. All right, let's go on to herniated disc. How are you going to find out if it's a herniated disc? Some simple tests.
Some of the thing in herniated disc, it tends to be worse with any type of bending or flexed position.
So sitting?
So yeah, prolonged sitting tends to make it worse, although piriformis can be bad if you sit on it.
Yeah. This is where it gets a little touchy sometimes. How about this one when you stand? Oftentimes a herniated disc, when you stand up, this motion from here to here, this is how the person will look. Oh,
yeah.
And they get up slow, but after you get up and you start walking around a little bit, it loosens up, and then it can be much better.
So I think, as we already alluded to, Brad, too, if flexion tends to make it, when you bend your back forward, like laying on your back even, and bend, like if you do repeated flexions like this.
Double knees to chest.
Yep, and this starts making your back worse and the leg pain worse, there's a chance that that's a herniated disc then.
Yep.
So, the other one you talked about is just plain tenderness in the back, right?
Right, exactly. So, and this one, you can kind of check yourself. I think it works better if you're laying down flat and you have someone else, because then the muscles are relaxed and you can get in there and work, and usually you'll feel it on one side or the other, or some gentle pressure in here is going to say, ow, and the person's going to know that. So you have to be careful.
Quite often they're very sensitive,
if
it's a herniated disc. It doesn't take much at all, so.
So now that we've completely confused our
that's
viewers,
right. So I mean, if you're really having a lot of back symptoms, I'm leaning towards herniated disc. And if it's a lot of it's just staying in the leg, I'm more leaning towards piriformis.
And we do have a nice video on piriformis stretching, and you could do that.
Yep, I'll link that at the end here. So.
And that's not going to make the disc worse.
Right.
So
give it a try.
You got nothing to lose.
So, all right. Thanks for watching.
Have fun besides.